We're live.
We are live. Alright,
Hi
Jim.
everyone. I'm on Facebook. I'm with Martin. We Mark. Just to share, like Martin called me a few days ago, and he suggested we do this just to revisit what we did for the Facilitator Training Program, and I thought it was a great idea. So that's just the background. So just share something for you, man.
Alright,
I'm just gonna post it here, and I'll just share this also as well. So,
alright. So to people watching the live or the replay, who have no idea what this is about. So this is Royce T. I'm Martin. So Martin Cruz. So again, maybe you've seen me from Real Talk Lifeline, my passion project, my mission work, and what we're doing for this live is we're gonna be sharing like our best lessons, our journey.
yeah,
This is regarding one of our coaches, our mentors, Coach Bam Santiago. He recently passed away last February 28th,
yeah,
2023. So that's not even 2 weeks ago. It's March 11, 2023 now. And we're just going to be sharing with you like our best lessons, his impact on our lives. We work closely with him. Actually, we trained with him last year. And Royce and I will be sharing our journey,
yeah.
how we've been processing it.
Yeah, so just the background, thanks, Martin. Just the background, both of us were, I guess, mentees or students of Coach Bam. We've been going around last year. We've been going around with him during the program of Lifekite, called the signature program is called Unbounded. And was it? We've been learning how to do the work with him, with Coach Bam. And paano ba? Yeah, is we just want to be able to share our journey, and in a way, this is also to document it, what happened so far. So maybe to start, let's just start at the beginning to keep it simple. Dude,
Yeah. How did it start for you?
Yeah.
I have a feeling, or just from what I know, that you actually met Coach Bam before me.
yeah, yeah,
So like, and this is just how my mind thinks. Maybe it will help also you. Like, when did you first meet him? How did you first get into this? Just so people have an idea, the work of Coach Bam as a life coach,
yeah,
he's into personal development, transformation, Unbounded, his level 1 program being his level 2 program. That's what it's all about. So for you, Royce, how did it start? I could share after you.
yeah. Mine was back in 2018. I started attending seminars because of my dad actually, and I've been going to seminars ever since. Parang if for some people, a lot of my friends on Facebook also know this. It's like a pack of it's a group of programs called Quantum Leap. So I was also a Quantum Leaper. But what really changed for me was when I decided to attend that program. Why? Um, Among all the programs in Quantum League that resonated with me, it was the Enlightened Warrior program. And that was really on personal development, looking back on it. Parang, stretching yourself, pushing past your limits. Talagang, that's the one I love the most. Um, and Lifekite, the program is called Unbounded. It's similar to that. It was also personal development. And for some reason, actually, when I started in 2018, I I would be lying if I said na my life changed instantly. No, it was a process. But just like the metaphor, they always say, a seed was planted in me, and now it's been growing. Like 2018, now it's been almost 5 years. It's going 5 years, but I think that was in May. So it's almost 5 years, like 4 years and 10 months. And in that time, I realized, like, my God, the growth and the change that's really happening for me. God, just just for me just for you to have an idea, for me, not just and it's not, and this is my journey, by the way, not, it's not to compare, guys. For me, I started just being a seminar goer up until last week. I really ran my the first for the first time I ran my own, like, I call it signature program. program, which we call Essence. So, my God, so as a faci, like as the main faci for that. So I was just like so many, like again, the in between. No, we'll talk about the journey, but for me, it started in 2018. What resonates with me, personal development, and again, not to say that all the others are bad. If you resonate with, example, health, if you resonate with business, no, that's great. Now, for me, it was working on myself and working on my relationships with the people closest to me, the people important to me in life. So yeah, that's mine. No? That's about me. My by the way, my name is Royce. If uh,
I
that's
hope I
what I
got the
keep
mention.
forgetting, even in all the programs. It's like, hey guys, getting it. By the way, my name is Royce.
Yeah, so his name isn't join us. Sorry, wherever that is on the screen, but yeah, his name is Roy. My name is Martin. So by the way, Roy, did you meet Coach Bam in 2018? Did you
Oh
take
yeah,
it there or later on? Or?
yeah. The short version of that, I met him quite a bit before the program. Parang he was hosting these Lifekite sessions kasi in Ayala 30th. So yung just in Coffee Bean yata, I think. It was just in Coffee Bean, and like I seriously thought na I never experienced like a get together like that. I really thought the entire meeting was just the icebreaker. Parang so it's like, hey, my name is this. This is what I. And they if you guys don't know what they do, they ask like they really it's just really a meeting on asking how are you. And so I thought, hey, that's what we do in the icebreaker, right? So like the main agenda is gonna come after this, right? And then they're like, thank you guys, thank you for coming. What? What? What happened? But okay, so yeah, it took me a while to realize like the main question asking you how are you, that was the point. And um like the story of how I got into my first Unbounded was it's a bit long, but I'll just say if ever those two other people I credited it to two other people. One was that time my team leader that time was his name was Julian, and one of my co-team members that time was Joy. They're a couple now. They were a couple then. They're married now. If they ever see this, now, I want to say to you guys first. Now, thank you guys for inviting me. Um, but also there's an element like Julian helped me because he actually gave me like an allowance reward just so you know. It wasn't the full payment, like it wasn't enough to cover the payment that I used for Unbounded. And Joy was the one who actually introduced me. She said, hey, before if you want to move forward, you need to have a certain mindset, and this program will help that. She introduced me, and I see that it's three people. Like they never actually like actively pushed me to do it. They just shared it to me. And I have to say the last part was just me seeing that on the event stage. It was the last day of the early bird program, and yeah, so I used that money that Julian gave me, and I used the rest. The rest was my own money, like my own allowance. And I decided to join in the last day of the early bird program. So parang I'm not saying that to credit myself, pero it was this combination of even as early as that time, parang um I don't know, it was just a sign of things to come. Kasi, dude, the term we use is if you hear the tug, it's just whatever a whisper for you or it's a message from your heart or wherever the universe telling you to do something. Even that time, you know, for whatever reason, I didn't even recognize it. That I listened to it. I said, basically last day of the early bird, let's do this. Like, even if it's partly my own money as well. Okay, let's go. And I attended, and that was the start of everything. So yeah,
This was 2018.
yeah, 2018. If I'm getting it wrong on May, I'm gonna dig up. I'll
Okay.
dig around and look for my certificate. Maybe I'll post in the comments after if I didn't, if it's a different thing. But
All right.
mid 2018, more or less.
Okay.
Here you go, man.
So, all right, my turn. Like, and again, I'll stick to the chronology, the storytelling
Yeah.
of how we met Coach Bam, how it all started. So, the timing is also freakishly similar.
Mhm.
So I was in, I don't know how to say this, the shortened version. A lot, like when you meet each of us, if you want to dive deeper, we'll happily share
Yeah.
more details and the way we're trained. Like we could share that with you guys. So 2018 too, I was in the midst of my work. So I shifted from corporate to life insurance. So as an agent in 2014. And then this was my second work. First corporate work was 3 years. And then now life insurance in 2014. So I did achieve, I was, getting production income. I felt something at that point in my life in 2018. Like I felt like I had to do something because if I just push more production, so for those who get it, let's say I started Achievers Club, my first full year, 2015, 2016, 17, 18, I did this $1 million round table. So it's hard to achieve.
Like what? Yeah, just to add guys for background, parang $1 million round table or MDRT is what percentage? Like top 1%, top
Yeah, top maybe
top
2% like
yeah.
that.
So
It goes
it's a big honor basically for financial advisors to get that like as a distinction for the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a degree where I actually was, achieving and doing work. So I won't get too deep into it because in a second program we did together, my challenge really was my self-worth. So like I'm a worthless piece of shit. So sharing this story is actually proof that I did achieve. I did actually some great things now that I look back at it. So 2018, if I kept pushing there for work, production significance, I felt like I would jump off a building already at that point. If they say, double your production or increase your income like that, I already did it 3 years in a row. So I, like Royce, I didn't know this until I found out later on when we crossed paths. I also got into personal development. So mine started with this Gary Vaynerchuk. He came to Manila, so the National Achievers Congress. So a friend and I split the ticket for that. It was like a bundle, like
I have to
buy two, something like that. So
get a discount bundle, yeah.
so maybe I was paying 1,500 or 2,000 pesos for that. When you start in this, that's like a lot of money already. Like that 500 pesos is like, should I even do this? So I got into that. When you attend that seminar, they shared other programs. So keep the long story short, I signed up for the Millionaire Mind Intensive. So this is around August, I think, July, August 2018. And then like Royce, I also signed up for this Quantum Leap program. So like a lot of money getting into it. So here's the chronology just to keep it on focus with a story of Coach Bam. 2018, when I was starting the whole self-development Quantum Leap, around December, I crossed paths with a guy, and he has his own seminar also about leadership. And then there was a part there of processing wherein you go through like it's kind of for a training later on. I realized so I didn't know anything yet. This was like one of my first personal development seminars. You go through emotional processing and then you cry there. So I wasn't used to that. So long story short, I felt like it wasn't enough. I was like, hey, yeah, I was like, I want more. Like not everything was able to cry or come out like that. So, and I love this guy. I mean, he has his own company. He's doing really well. Also very deep into personal development. I love this guy. So later on, 2018, and this was around December 2018, I just decided to focus on my quantum leap. It's a 1 year span. So you do 5 seminars in Singapore, Malaysia, so throughout Asia. And I wanted to finish mine. My last one was going to be Enlightened Warrior Training Camp, which was
Did you go?
yeah, I did that in October. So before I was going to finish my quantum leap, it's because of Isis O'Malley. I'll give credit to her. We also crossed paths in our quantum leap. When you sign up for the quantum leap program, you go to this private room. And then it's again a very select few go there because it's not cheap. That time it was like $310,000. That's pretty much like 6,000 US dollars. Used my life savings for that. So I met Isis, Umazi there, and then she started from our personal sharing. She started mentioning Coach Bam, and then she kept inviting me to Unbounded, that's the signature, the first program of Lifekite of Coach Bam. And it took me like about a year to finally say yes because I wanted to focus on finishing my Quantum Leap, my seminars first. So I did my first Unbounded here. I actually still have my notebook. And I did it August 3, 2019. So this is right before the final Quantum Leap seminar I did in October 2019. So, I finally said yes, met Coach Bam, did my first Unbounded with him, and the rest became history. But Unbounded, it really hit me on an emotional core. So why I've been doing all this personal development is really to heal my depression. I came from a 9-year relationship that didn't end well on my side. Like I didn't get the answers, the closure, the emotional processing needed. And again, back then I didn't know what emotional mental health all of that was in 2014 after the 9-year relationship. So Unbounded, Coach Bam's work really, really helped a lot. So it's pretty much what we're sharing here, what we're doing, creating that safe space, processing. When Royce shared about the Ayala 30th, so I believe that's in Meralco Avenue, Pasig area, that mall there. When they meet up and just ask, how are you? This is very nuanced because we went through the training. There's a way to actually ask how the person, how are you? And then to create a safe space and be with the person. Personally, I think Royce could relate to, we didn't grow up learning how to do that.
Yeah.
Because we tend in our culture, I don't think it's limited to the Philippines only, other countries, we tend to be emotionally dismissive. We really don't have that vulnerability a lot. Also, to be with or to process the other person, meaning when the person's sharing, I think Royce could relate to this as a guy. We just want to fix it. So we just want to give an answer. But part of the training, again, you're just seeing like like a speck of the training that we went through. A lot of it is actually listening, emotionally being present. This is my personal input. It's actually also like going there and feeling their pain, which later on I integrated other training and processes like ice baths and allowing to sit in the suffering like that, which helps a lot too. So Coach Bam actually had that ability. He had that authenticity, or he has that heart level. I think that's like one of the terms, heart level. It's not just head level to help people go through that. So 2019 was my very first encounter with Coach Bam. And then after that, I'll jump a bit and I'll pass it on to you, Roy. In between the years, 2020, 21, I was staffing or volunteering, so helping out with seminars. And then it was 2022, just last year actually, in January, I stepped up and took his level 2 program called Beingness. And I was there with Roy. So just so I want to clear this out, I just love being more transparent. I also took the early bird rate when I did my Unbounded in August. There was a promo. So from like 12,000, I paid 6,000. So for me, that's a big deal. So those who want to just learn this on marketing, like business side, it was effective on me. Now, those who get it later on, big picture, as long as the value you got was worth it, and personally, I'd say it was worth it. It doesn't matter, like whether the discount is there or not, attractive. But then the reason why we're sharing this is more for the mission or the higher purpose, why we're remembering and honoring Coach Bam's work or his legacy. So I also did level 2, so that's a higher level, higher step up from that just last year, January. And then Royce and I, after that, he started at first. He was like the pilot of this facilitator training program. So I don't want to spell it out because I didn't get the code names at first, like FASI, all that stuff. So facilitator training program. He started in January. Then I started second quarter, like April. So we pretty much spent last year training closely with Coach Bam. I had no idea because we didn't know what was gonna happen. Like he's pretty much training you to be like next in line, meaning can you also run your own
That
unbounded?
was always the intention talaga from the start. And the goal, and I appreciate Bang always saying that because one of the difficult conversations we really had talaga was like, Royce, why are you continuing next? This was by quarter, so they were like, Royce, why are you continuing next quarter? Because if not, no, it's fine. We can terminate it here and now, and that's real talk because not a normal coach wouldn't say that. Like if you're doing business, I'll just say that's bad for business. Hey, let's not continue. Meaning, AKA if you're after example your bottom line, no,
The money.
yeah, you're not gonna get income anymore. But every time it was the opposite. That Bam was always asking us, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And I appreciate I appreciate it with that. That's why every time now, that's what I want to do moving forward. Hey, maybe it's not gonna be like let's be honest. Here there's still a business aspect, but that's not the primary goal of doing this as the work. It's always speaking the truth to people and wanting what's best for them, you know, even if it's gonna be a conflict of interest for you. I'd say it's still worth it because you get to be true to yourself and you're not doing it again. I think it's also the best, like what's best for other people is also best for yourself at the end of the day, even if it doesn't seem that way. So, yeah, back to you, Dan.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had that.
I'll flow from what Royce is sharing. that's that's how I found alignment in the things I do, even in life insurance. I don't know if I was like the outlier, but whenever I sold policies, my personal strategy or like my code of honor was I would like sell the lowest commission product with the maximum benefit for the client, the customer. And in the pie, there are like three sides. So one is the agent, the distributor, you get a commission. One side is the client, and then the third side is the company. So
Win,
the,
win, win. Yeah, win, 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 right?
so yeah,
Yeah.
and then the way I was trained, because I took like this 5 year program in university and college, and it's like you get a master's degree if ever you qualify for the fifth. When I picked my specialization, communication, integrated marketing communication, from the very start, they teach us how to be customer oriented, customer focused, which I love. So if you're on a heart level, you're just doing what is best for the other person. Now, even on a business level, if you think about it, marketing, it just works because people watching this live, this replay, I believe you're smarter than that. You will know and feel if that company, that agent, that person is just trying to make money off you. And you won't like that. I don't like that. So where it aligns, what Royce was sharing is where what I love, what we're doing, we're trying to help. It also aligns with you wanting to reward that. So I thought that in hindsight, because when we were paying like Coach Bang for the training, I actually I don't regret it, and it became more clear after what happened because we didn't expect that. When we visited Coach Bam on the last days of the hospital, he was in recovery.
Yeah.
I even saw his dad, who was 78 years old, still like high energy, active. He wanted to freaking register the car in the LTO, which for me is a big hassle already. But this guy was like so game for it, 78. My dad's like 68, like that. So when Coach Bam had that sudden complication or he wasn't responsive a few days later, we didn't expect that. Like he was. So in hindsight, it was all worth it. Um, I really love to support it. So yeah. And then where do we flow from here, Royce? Because integrating all these lessons from Coach Bam, I'm remembering just those one by one, right? So
Okay. Yeah, for me, let's just go over it again. Like maybe for other people again, it wasn't exactly posted online. So it's like, what exactly was the FASI program?
yeah.
Yeah, and just add also for me, dude. I'll share the first part. This is actually the second leg, or the like round two of the FASI program. Finally, we made it public. And hi guys, whoever's watching.
There,
Yun,
MJ in the house, yeah.
Kasi kanina,
So that's why.
where's the privacy? And then it said only me, kaya pala.
So we had a breakthrough, guys. So
Yeah.
again, people who are wondering, you have to be so perfect when you do the training. And no, dude,
Yeah.
we're just like you, trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I saw with Coach Bam too.
When we do this naman, this will be up on the replay. You'll see naman for a quick, just a quick background on what we're doing now. We just want to revisit and share our Lifekite party journey. That's why Martin invited me. And what we were doing, thank you MJ, no. Woo! What we were doing lang was we just gave a background on how we met Coach Bam, how we got into Lifekite, like how we essentially got into Unbounded, because that's really where most people get into Lifekite in the first place. It's the signature program. So that's one. And after that also, yeah, parang now we just want to share now, like, for me, just what I was sharing was the FASI program. This is actually the second round. Why? Prior to this, before in 2021, like halfway through 2021, me and 8 other people actually. So
A lot, though.
yeah, that's a lot.
I didn't know that.
This was still when the pandemic was going on, so that version of the FASI training program was held on Zoom. So
Online, okay.
yeah, I actually have a lot. I was actually the assigned recorder.
Oh.
I have the video recordings of a lot of those. So I have that. Like I uploaded it on my YouTube as well. What was that basically? We learned how to run like parts of the program sa Unbounded, but through Zoom. So ano siya, hindi siya live. Kasi that time talaga, So it was still effective. Like I'll share with you, we learned how to give feedback, for example, what worked, what could work better. We learned how to set up. So we were talking about, like what are the materials, what's the setup, what's the, for example, yeah. Thank you, MJ. Yeah, instruments to touch. Yeah, thank you, MJ. Like, I just want to say to that lang, no, it's to, we continue the work. Like, we want to continue the work. I want to continue the work. It's not going to end because, yeah, like we're still here. We want to continue. Hi, Myla. Yeah, Joe. Welcome. Yeah. So just we're and again to wrap it up for me. No, that's the first leg. First leg of the FASI program. Round one was on Zoom. Namin, I was with 8 other people. Our culminating event was called the road trip. So I have a recording of that somewhere. I might share it again. We did, it was a road trip. Parang it was just a metaphor. Parang hey, if you travel through life, these are the things that might help you. So we did an event for that. Parang I think we five out of the 9 of us, 8 plus me, 5 of us were doing content, like a portion of the program, and 2 of them were facilitators. I don't know, MCs pala. One of them was the background support, and I forgot. No, it's not adding up. I'm forgetting. There's one na absent na role, pero yan. So it was fun. We got people to join. We got to help people process. Like somebody was also get very emotional, just like in the program. And here's the most important point: why we did it on Zoom. Just like what Bam did. He found out when trying it, the program still works through the screen. People still open up. People can still get emotional, even if around them, there's like I don't know, people passing by. So it's not exactly public. They're in their rooms. You can't physically touch people. No, it still works. The process still works with that. So yeah, that's the first leg. Yeah, I'll give it to you, man, to share.
Yeah.
Second round is basically I'll just share until the first part para Martin my
It'll
buddy can
connect.
also share now. Round two started in 2022. It really started in January. I was there for the first quarter. What we really just did was just me one-on-one with Bam. It was actually closer to coaching than learning facilitating. Parang, and the reason why is because if you don't work on yourself, you cannot be an effective facilitator. That's it. So a lot of that was actually us just having conversations. Parang I didn't realize it at first. I was talking about hey, I was talking about. I was remembering one time I had a conversation lang with Bam. Sabi ko, Bam, this happened to me. I'm really upset. Ganyan, ganyan. And then afterwards, Royce, do you realize that's the 4 hours? 4 hours is a portion of the, it's a module in the program. Module meaning it's like a framework. Um, 4 hours meaning 4 words that start with the letter R. And Royce, you're going through it right now. This is what 4 hours is about, diba?
It's about resentment.
Yeah, it's about resentment and what comes after. You know, and so sabi niya, like Royce, yeah, this is a real life example that you're living it. No, I mean you're experiencing it. That's the best way for you to be able to teach it because you're coming from experience. Talaga, it's not. And again, the content, anyone can learn the content. If example, you plant, example, a recorder in the program and you just listen to it, yes, you'll get the content, but only on a theoretical or head. We call it head level.
Yeah.
It, and again, I'm saying this from experience. You'll have limited results with it. You really have to live it, see how it works in your life before you'll be able to be able to ano ba, integrate and apply it into your life moving forward. So yeah, that's it. When last thing I'll share for the first leg, we got back to live program. So if ever Mom Joan sees this, thank you MJ, Coach Bab. Yeah,
Or you might cry,
yeah. If ever makita ni Ma'am Joan from IEN, I just want to say thank you kasi she was the one who really trusted and took. It was still a risk because it was a pandemic. Thank you, Ma'am Joan, for trusting Lifekite. She was the one who agreed to do it live for the first time again. So you know, we still had masks on, don't worry. No, but again, we got to have people hugging again, people being there interacting again. We got to pair people up into buddies again. That time, it was the start again of idea. That was really the way life type on last year. It was really really very fruitful talaga. So yeah, man. So Martin joined second quarter onwards. I'll let him share like what we did. Kasi yan,
Yeah.
his experience naman also with the FASI program.
So, man, this is unfiltered me just sharing. So, Roy, just comment up. You have to like do some intervention. So, this is my understanding because I wasn't aware of the Facilitator Training Program, the first leg in 2021. My understanding was that it was actually done for free. This is just me, but outside looking in. And then, as painful as this sounds, because I'm also guilty of this too, what I learned is sometimes when things are done for free, it's not appreciated as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, like how I test this. Like I take the Quantum Leap program or I do Tony Robbins, Date with Destiny, like that, like $5,000, $6,000. I can actually share with you the lessons from my workbooks like that for free.
Yeah.
Most people, they will not value it like a goddamn ounce, pound, or fucking whatever measurement you wanna say, because it's free.
Mm.
But then Royce and I were paying money. So this is the second leg of Facilitator Training Program. You're paying like every quarter, and it's not small the amount. So we really had to value whatever training, this coaching that we were going through with Coach Bam. Now, I'll just, because Royce can share more of the technical, the training.
Mm.
What I feel like sharing myself is saying is, when I went through it, maybe my results or how I did it, how I processed it was very different from Royce. So what I got out of it was I did it. This is just my personal take or view of it. I really supported. I chose to support what Coach Bam was doing because I felt it in my own life. Now, have I been able to run seminars on my own necessarily like that? Like maybe I haven't reached that level. I learned up to 2 modules, so that's 4 hours, the one on resentment and the love languages.
I'll just cut in. This guy is selling himself short. He ran a session or he ran a gun class already, so this guy already knows how to facilitate. This guy also knows how to do ice bath. So just in case you forgot, man, you're already doing it.
So, see, Royce is actually doing coaching now. So he also reminds us of like, hey, actually, sometimes we're already doing it. We're actually doing the work already.
Yeah.
But it's my self-talk, like my inner programming, whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not worth it, like that. So Royce is actually doing the work right now. You're seeing it. Hey, Mavic. Yeah, so that'll pop up. So for me, then I'll give it back to Royce. The biggest thing I got from the Facilitator Training Program was, as Royce said, if we don't work on ourselves first, you can't be a good facilitator. So all of the training, all of the lessons I got, then I'll pass it to you, Royce, is I was testing it on myself first, particularly with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these very sensitive conversations, emotional processing for myself first, being able to communicate it with another person, meaning like my brother, my dad, my mom. I think that was the biggest value I got with Coach Bam. If it wasn't publicly seen, I was testing it on myself first. So that's the biggest value I got from the Facilitator Training Program, because I wanted it to be useful to me first.
Yeah.
So if someone asks, hey, does it work, right? At least I would know that it worked on myself first. And then, maybe Royce might recall or share stuff that...
I'll add one thing to that, too.
Yeah.
One thing that BAM always constantly asks us at the start, this is during staffing. Even if you were a staffer, staffing is, if you're done with the program, like you took it as a participant, you can come back and staff, meaning to support it. BAM calls it a seminar within a seminar. Why? You will see the program through different lenses. And one thing that he always says, he says that like it's good, for example, you come from service, you want to help other people, you're there to support other people. But also don't forget to ask, like, what are you getting out of this for example, this run of the program as well. Like, why? Because always remember to take care of yourself. That's what people lots of people know. That's why I guess personal development for me also stays relevant, because even the most simplest messages, it's so easy to forget, man. So easy to forget. Na hey, I'm also important, diba? You're also important. But a lot of times, what is it? We get distracted. We lose our way. We say na hey, here I have to chase after work. Oh, I have something that happens to family. So habol ako. But at the end of the day, what's the result? No, like you're drained, you're tired. No, so what's the result of that? Especially as a Fasi, your energy becomes very low because you're drained, and you can't help it. You can't help other people if you don't help yourself first. But and everybody knows that example with the aircraft, right? If oxygen is lost in the cabin, oxygen masks will drop. Please make sure put it on yourself before you help someone else. So take care of yourself, and then you're able to help other people. So same, you develop yourself first.
I have hits, man, coming, and then we can go back and forth. From your sharing, I'm flowing with Royce's sharing on Coach Bam. One of the best lessons I got related to what he just shared is it's the buddy system.
Yeah, buddy system also.
And because you're mentioning about staffing or serving, there was one time in Antipolo, so it's partly buddy system, and then and chief that time was the Magulangyana. So she's from Iloilo, so that's along the term. Yes. So we love you, and this is my personal sharing. we were serving, we were staffing. Coach Bam is the lead facilitator, the trainer there. So even as someone who's just helping, this is my personal sharing. There was a point where I potentially could have gotten in conflict or fought with my chief, si Magulang Yana, because she was doing things in a certain way, and I was doing things in a different way. So even the people in front, the facilitator, the staff, you were not on a pedestal. Like I was going through the seminar just like you, and my lesson was in real time. It's like with my teammates, so with my buddy. If my pace is slower, how do I handle this? Like this guy, we have to make time.
Mm.
So do we also have to make agreements? Then we have to learn renegotiation like that, while still being professional because this is a client. We're working for a client who's paying.
These are paid clients, by the way, guys. It's not like, we call someone off the street, hey, free ka ba? Gusto mo bang mag-ano? So,
Yeah, and then on a deeper level, because that's one of the exposure I appreciated about Coach Bam. These were like corporate clients, employees, like that, the HR, the training. On a deeper level, these are also lives of people. So if we don't give our 100%, our sincerity, the way we're trained, sorry, you could fuck up someone else's life.
yeah.
Because what if they really needed help in that moment, and then I became the reason that they lost hope?
Yeah.
So the training is the opposite. It's like, how can you be there for someone? How can you help them? Or because my teammate, if she's doing something her way and I don't entirely agree with it, my lesson there was to do nothing. Meaning, don't get in the way of the chief.
Yeah.
Let them do their work. Let them care for people, and let my ego out the door, or like not interfere with it.
Yeah.
So doing nothing was actually, to help.
Yeah.
So
what's
yeah, back to you.
the takeaway maybe for, I don't know, parang, what's the takeaway maybe because for a lot of people, our first instinct is to react. What does that mean? Parang I have to do something talaga, like otherwise, the worst case scenario is gonna happen.
This guy.
Yeah. And
all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place talaga na. And that's so if you remember, like if you take a deep breath, but to pause and to reconsider, like, is that really the best thing? I remember speaking with him also. It's the same. Na our takeaway after that talk was, hey, man, if we're coming from a sense of fear, like a space of fear, urgency, we might actually harm more than help the situation just because we think now we have to do something, we have to do something, we have to do something. So,
you reminded me of my mother. Sorry, I love my mom. It's just whenever it comes from fear, like what you're saying, and maybe it was passed down to me because my default, believe it or not, those that really know me, my default is that I see everything that can go wrong. So imagine if I'm acting out of that, what Royce is saying, I would actually be causing people to fear more, or I would be causing anxiety upon others. I would be worrying, like passing down worry or fear to other people. So just wanted to add that to what Royce was saying.
And to circle it back, why is that important in doing this work? When people are opening up and they're emotional, it's number one, it's a choice. They're choosing to be vulnerable, and that takes a lot of courage. But also at the same time, since they're very vulnerable, you have to handle it properly. So if you have an ounce of ego, that could actually traumatize them further instead of being able to help them heal. No. So yeah. Oh, hey. Oh, hi, Coach Edwin. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I love it.
I'm okay. How are you doing, man? Like so far processing after Coach Bam, who passed away again less than 2 weeks ago. My final moments with Coach Bam, just so people who are concerned, like Coach Edwin. Good to meet you too. So I'm okay. In the final moments with Coach Bam, when I was there Sunday, Feb 26th. So this was 2 days. I spent the day with Coach Bam from 9 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. and I feel no regrets. I thought he was at peace. I thought I wasn't forced to be there, but I chose to stay anyway. And it was a good feeling. Like just appreciation. So I'm okay. How about you, how about you, Royce? Coach Royce, how about you, Royce?
Yeah. For me, where my space is at, no. And this is something that I'm really embracing now.
Mhm.
I'm declaring to people like the past week has really helped me heal. Um, and only time will tell if it's 100%, like I'm fully healed or not. Like for me, it I find it a way to get to my heart and to remember, hey, at any moment we don't know when time is up, and that's something to remember that, hey, make sure to remember life is precious. But what helped me really in the past week, number one, I got to serve all that I can with I served all the, we call it the final staffing opportunity we had for Coach Bam. So I was there for the first 2 days of the week. Yeah, I met Coach Edwin there. So yeah, and number two, I was able to fly to Iloilo. I feel like that was what really healed me the most because I got to connect with, like Lifekite has a community in Iloilo that really helped me. And third one, I feel that I was happy to be able to accomplish was I created my own program, which is Essence, and that was really. Like, we'll get to that in a while, no?
Yeah, look out for that one.
That's one of the biggest lessons that Bam also shared to us, teaching us. It is really, how do I say this? Oh my gosh, it really took us to get to this point for me to understand what Essence was about. It was never about what you did. It was never about what experiences you had, but something much deeper. So, and
So those who are curious, yeah.
I just to answer Coach Edwin, like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm in a much better space than the past 2 weeks, and yeah, I want to move forward.
Yeah, sorry, shameless plug. So for Royce, people watching the live or the replay, just type Essence down below because I have yet to experience the signature program. I might experience it after this live actually. So if you're curious to just go through the lessons, the transformation that Royce learned from Coach Bam. My final moments with Coach Bam, by the way, I feel like when people ask that, and like people say coping, from my mentors, I learned just the difference of coping and thriving. So don't settle for just coping or mediocrity. Now, here's the thing with Coach Bam. It wasn't even that because Saturday, so this was the day I wanted to visit him, but then I got to visit Sunday. In my sleep around 5, 6 p.m., I felt Coach Bam visit me. I felt him talking to me, and he
Which Saturday is this?
right before Feb 25. This was the first day he was moved from the ER to the regular room, and I guess he couldn't reply. He was going through physical therapy his first day. So I don't know if Coach Bam intended this, but I felt him visit me in my sleep, in my dream, and the feeling, the vibe was it's okay. Like he wasn't angry or anything. He was just reassuring me that he was okay. True enough, when I reached out, he texted, visit me tomorrow, Martin, which was Sunday. And wow, like I didn't know that was the last time that I was gonna see him, literally. So I feel like he's still with us. That's my feeling, in spirit. I hope maybe right now he would, whisper a message, a lesson to us. So I feel that I did go to the wake the first day and then the last day.
Yeah.
So I just, wanted to witness and be there also. So thank you, Coach Edwin, with your comments here, right?
Thank you for the encouragement also.
Yeah.
Coach Edwin, yeah.
By the way, Royce is literally continuing the work with Essence, and like when he runs seminars, for me, I love supporting and helping. The way I continue the work, because you mentioned here within, is I really just try to apply the lessons in my own life, which is ongoing. And sometimes we still learn, like
that's the point.
Like all these notebooks of this is my Unbounded.
You brought all the notebooks from.
This is my level 2 of beingness. So I mean, like we have a lot. We still have a lot to learn and process. So I think that's part of Coach Bam's legacy, which we're just trying to share with you here today.
Yeah. And yeah, Mavic, no, thank you for that. Masabi ko, Mavic, ako rin, that's why I'm continuing, like, I continue to do the lives. I do it in my own way, but hopefully it's also to help other people to remind them why. Because I'm like this is one of the biggest realizations. Just because you go through the program once doesn't mean you absorb everything. Sometimes, and like I know my buddy does knows this. Now sometimes you need to have the lesson repeated to you several times before it sinks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this Royce mentioned earlier, with Unbounded, like the signature seminar program of Coach Bam, and then the other ones like Beingness,
Yeah.
there's an element, the way we integrate it is when we feel it. So there are certain processes that we go through wherein you really feel it on a heart level, whether you visualize it, you feel it emotionally. It's a real experience, a story you went through with your mom, with your dad, with
Yeah.
someone you loved, with yourself. Uh, and then the lesson hits. And as Roy says, it's not like a one-time silver bullet magic pill thing. Like
Yeah.
imagine going to the gym and then you finally learn the right form of doing a workout. Does that mean you're never gonna like go to the gym again like that? I'm not saying you have to do it every
It's a
day.
constant process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a process. You could do it like every week or in your own timing, but there's like an intentional process
Yeah.
to do it.
I remember the quote was like I think motivation like same with exercise. No? Motivation is like bathing. That's why you need to do it daily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. But
So
do it constantly, yeah. Because otherwise, what we talk about also, we call it not the, it's the darkness. The dark side meaning if you're demotivated, if you feel discouraged, that naturally happens because life isn't easy, and we're naturally disposed to thinking. It's so easy to focus on the negative, guys. So if you don't continue practicing, for example, to encourage and affirm yourself, if you forget to, for example, you stop putting yourself first, not in a selfish way, but in a way to take care of yourself because you're worth being taken care of. But if you stop doing that, yeah, the consequences you will also slip back, and that's why nga, like if we could just continue, like for example lang, now we just continue repeating just hey, let's just share what we learned again from Unbounded or
yeah.
that's still worth it because it's a way of keeping it alive. Because the moment you forget, that's the moment I guess like the spirit of Lifekite will die. Metaphorically, I don't know, but if you get it now, it's really you have to keep it alive because the darkness will always be there. But the good news is so is the light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna say
and
that.
that's what we're doing. It's we call it light work like light, like ilaw, light
Yeah.
work because um it's so easy to be consumed by the darkness. Imagine like again, this guy knows depression. Other people, they've been traumatized, they've been hurt really, really bad.
Yeah.
Other people, example like me, don't even know I've been hurt. I didn't even realize that there was something for me to grow into until I got encountered I got in touch with lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to flow or
Yeah.
connect with what Royce is sharing. So yin and yang, like maybe he didn't know. For some, by the way, like people are like, oh, this guy's in touch with darkness, depression. I intentionally, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like if my default was happy, my life would be so much easier like that. So I'm not saying like I love this darkness or this depression, whatever. So I joke yin and yang because Royce maybe he had that affinity of he can just like that. Like he sees the other side, which is
I
part of
will give
life.
you the other side, man. I'll
Mhm.
catch you right now. You said your life will be so much easier if you're happy. Not true, because people who are happy struggle with facing pain.
Oh,
Diba?
so this is why it's
Yeah.
helpful. Right? I feel like addressing this too, like for Mavic, this comment, and then we'll put it down. Don't worry, Mavic.
And that's
What?
not, by the way, that's not a blanket statement. That's a potential pitfall. Parang disclaimer lang. Like, if
Yeah,
your default is happy and you're not as experienced with facing the darkness, that's gonna be an area for you to grow into because you're gonna struggle with it. Whereas dude, I've always been telling you, man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Since your default is leaning towards, I guess, the darker side for a lot of times, dude, I'm telling you, your how's this? That can be your strength, man. Your strength is being able to be like, hey, I'm in a dark space right now, but it's actually okay. It doesn't have to consume me.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it makes sense. So for Mavic's comment, what I just wanted to share, I just felt like sharing this is, uh, we have a choice too how to handle what happened. So I'm not discounting whatever you're feeling, because there are people who maybe didn't get to see Coach Bam before the final moments because you were out of town, couldn't make it like that. That's okay, right? So I'm remembering two lines that Coach Bam, I felt one of my favorite lessons. So he says this line of, "You can do no wrong.
yeah,
I still love you anyway."
yeah,
So that's what I felt. So to your comment, Mavic, like, and by the way, Royce was volunteering in the days of the wake, the first 2 days. He would even use his phone to go live, or if you wanted to video call, you wanted to see him.
oh yeah, yeah. I remember that.
And I saw Mavic in the group, the chat. So you were there, you were seeing what was happening. So you were present. You were present. You were felt. I saw you. So I'm sure Coach Bam saw you from above too, right? So I just felt like sharing that because, like, what Royce just did now, like, you might think that was a magic trick or something. I didn't know that. Like, he's like, oh, so the darkness, like, people who are happy, yeah, I could see that. I see that in some people. When hard times, dark times come, they can't even face it.
Yeah,
When I talk about the conversation of depression, there's some people, they say that's not even real. Like, depression's not real. Now here's the thing, you know, I honor your truth, whatever it is. If I meet someone and then they're going through something which I don't understand, let's say autism, whatever like that, it might not be real to me. But the day you have a nephew,
yeah,
or maybe you have a relative, a son, a daughter like that who's like that,
yeah,
on the spectrum, it becomes real to you. So I don't want to wait for the day, right, to go, oh, I didn't get it, man. I'm so sorry. Or, like, I didn't understand. Like, I get it already
yeah,
for some reason. I don't know if I'm hypersensitive or I feel that sane more. So not everyone will understand. That's another lesson. I'll pass it to Royce after this. Coach Bam really helped me. He calls that unrealistic expectations. So let's say I go through a bad breakup. This is how let's make it useful, practical. 9 years, I did my best to stay, even when times were bad. Sometimes in your worst moment, that person will still move on. So they won't necessarily do the same thing for you. And I thought that was realistic. It's like, hey, if you do all of this, isn't it realistic for the person to, like, do the same
to
for you?
reciprocate, basically, yeah.
So another friend told me this line. She said, Martin, not everyone will share the same values as you do. That really helped me. So Coach Bam's lesson is unrealistic expectations. And here's the hint, guys. 99% of the time, even if you think it's realistic, it could be an unrealistic expectation.
Because I'll just
Yeah.
I'll add to that, but for now, yeah. Thank you, MJ. Yeah. God bless for you too. God bless your journey too, MJ. I'm happy we're still keeping in touch, basically. And yeah, thank you kanina, no. I Lots of people don't know this, but thank you for your feedback for the live. Buti na lang, kaya this is why this is public. I got to figure it out. So yeah,
You saved us.
yeah, you saved us. Thank you, MJ. Otherwise, we would have been just talking to just the two of us pala. So yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, you're helping us reach people.
I guess in line with unrealistic expectations, and here's I'll call it a meta lesson. It's not a word, but it's a lesson that you learn after you grow yourself a bit, which is yeah. One common temptation for us is to say, hey, I grew myself. Why don't you grow yourself too? And it becomes
Shit. Okay.
Because the effect of that, one, it's, again, you're forming an unrealistic expectation of people. at the end of the day, it's still their choice if they want to grow or not. And if here's the important part, if they don't, that's okay. Love them anyway.
Oh man,
Yeah.
heart's getting heavy here. Huh?
But here's
Yeah.
the thing is like it you have it's also respecting that people like it's respecting people's choice and also recognizing maybe at that point in time, especially what you said, man, like oh they never like it's not real, it's not real. At that point, it's I'd say like just extend compassion for them, not because they deserve it, no, but it's also because at that point it might really be that they just really weren't aware of it. That's why for them it's not real for them, but for you it's very much real, especially if it's like I'm happy we're breaking out, for example, of breaking out what the stigma of mental disorders, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But for a lot of people, the common thing that people don't recognize is they think that whatever they see is objective. Whatever they see is everything. So when they see, I don't see mental illness, it probably doesn't exist. I don't see struggle. I don't see depression. Maybe it doesn't exist. Like, what are you making up? Are you making this up? And it hurts. I know it's hurtful, but that's a lesson for yeah, it's a lesson I have to learn.
Mhm.
Even I was hurt by that. Like, I can see this. Why can't you see it? Right? And
Yeah.
eventually, you have it. It it's just an invitation for you to grow more. That hey, there's it's not that they don't see, it's I don't see it. I have to grow it to realizing hey, they're not aware. They're just not aware, and that's okay. Again, love them anyway.
Yeah, that's so painful to learn. I agree with the lesson. It's like when you have awareness and they don't, so it's kind of like it's like they're hurting you and then you have to forgive them. So
So yeah, just so you guys know, personal development it's not all fun and rainbows. Sometimes, yeah, growth hurts,
yeah.
and you think that I'll pass it back to you, but that's really a lot for mine also. It's like I already grew myself this much. I have to grow more to be the bigger person. I've had I almost let go of personal development at that time talaga because I realized what I didn't grow enough fast. I still have to stretch myself even more. Like but, but yeah, it really is it. And I'll tell you, all I can tell you right now, because a lot of people, it's beyond your awareness, it's beyond what you can see. I'll tell you, it's worth it, man. No matter what the cost, it's still worth it to grow yourself. But
So,
yeah, man.
to be fair, so we're doing back and forth. To be fair, this is where I'll share something. So maybe I'm the one like doing the positive or the light one now. So whenever I see, so it's like to dispel that or to address that for me. Whenever I see someone, let's say Roy, see, this guy can run like the first day of Unbounded all by himself like that. So let's say I do two mojos. To be fair, whenever I see someone who has more awareness, it usually it I feel like a pull. So I don't feel that anger, like, oh, I have to work on myself more. It's like, oh, Royce can do the whole first day. Martin, you better do these one or two modules because, like, and what I say, that's more of like an inspiring thing. Like,
I'll add quick note.
yeah,
In round one of the Facilitator Training Program, we call it positive pressure. So
there you go.
you're feeling it, man. I like it. Yeah.
So mine is like my example for that is like you're in the gym, this guy's lifting some heavy ass weights, like then the body type is similar to you, or maybe this guy's even thin or girl. She lifts that heavy weight, and you go, oh shit, like I want to do that too, because look, this person's smaller than me, thinner than me, whatever, and they can do it. So whatever term you want to use, positive pressure, inspiration, like that. Like whenever I have moments like that, people with more awareness, I usually feel, yeah, instead of anger, like frustration like that, I feel light. Like I feel like if they can do it, I can do it. So it's more of yeah, I would say this. It's a very good feeling. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. Right now, I'm just checking the time. We're a little over an hour. if it's okay with you, man, like I want to go on a bathroom break. I want to continue, but there's a lot more to share.
Yeah. Is that possible to pause this live?
No,
Or
that's why I'm thinking of doing this, man. Look at this.
oh, look, I'll be here. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't
bathroom
worry.
break. So,
So right. Yeah.
if you wanna keep sharing, dude.
Okay. So Royce is gonna go on a quick bathroom break. And while the bathroom break is going on,
Just share, man.
yeah, I'm gonna do a quick sharing. I know Royce is just gonna be very quick. He moves much faster than I do. So another lesson, I'll share like when as Royce comes back. These lessons, these favorite lessons that Royce and I have learned from Coach Bam. We're sharing this with you on this live to honor him. So if you have questions, maybe some of you have met Coach Bam here in this live, in the replay, you can comment down below your favorite lessons that you got from Coach Bam, the impact he had on your life, maybe the way he transformed your life or what you learned from him. Or again, it could be a question. Someone here watching, maybe you have unanswered questions, some things that weren't resolved, and maybe Royce or I or someone who was close to Coach Bam might be able to give you an answer, an insight. Could be about Coach Bam and stuff. It could be about what you were going through, and then you weren't able to fully process it in the seminar and the encounter with Coach Bam. So as Royce is in the bathroom break, feel free to comment that. In the meantime, I'll share also on my own. So as we met Coach Bam, Royce was 2018, mine was 2019. We took his first program, Unbounded. We took his second program, Level Up, Beingness, Level 2, January 2022, just a year ago. And then from there, a lot of the lessons or the training that Royce and I went through, for me personally, they also align with, let's say, Tony Robbins. So that's, again, personal development, T. Harv Eker, like all of this is it's super helpful, and I've been applying it in my life every day. So yeah, so Russ is about to come back from the bathroom, but then I'll be checking your comments here. So I'm gonna go back to and stop this bathroom break. I'm gonna check your comments here. So in the meantime, Royce and I are just gonna keep flowing. Eventually, we'll cut the live. You could watch the replay, but feel free to share your personal experiences, your personal encounters, your personal best favorite lessons you got from Coach Bam. So Royce is back.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm back. Yeah. So yeah, I was hearing a bit of it naman. And yeah, guys, yeah, if you want, that's why we're doing this live. It's not just a recording. Yeah, if you want, yeah, engage, just share what you want. If you have questions, we're here. Kind of like I know what's up on Reddit, Ask Me Anything, AMA. So,
Like a
yeah.
free seminar.
But in the meantime, yeah, while we're waiting for people to share now, I guess an idea for me, the next thing we can talk about also. We talked about what is our background, how we met Coach Bam.
Mhm.
We talked about what the Facilitator Training Program is. Ikaw muna, dude. And I don't have actually that much.
So here, so
here,
this one just came up.
Sakto, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one.
Coach Bam's last words or lessons that
Hit
hit
you
you
more.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first
Yeah.
here?
Ako, I'll start by saying, actually, I don't really remember the last words kasi, or it could be, it was just something along the lines of like, bye, Bam, like, see you later.
Mhm.
For him, yeah, same to me. No, it was just something like that, like, see you, Royce. Because he really was on the road to recovery na eh. So I really didn't, I don't really remember that much talaga. However, the lesson for me that hit me the most is, and that's why I called my program Essence, because it really is about essence. And you'll be able to, again, it's not to plug, pero for me, what Essence is about, it's understanding what it is, what the whole thing is about, so that why anyone can memorize a script, no? I mean, anyone can learn the structure, but like we say, life, it's, or even a program is unpredictable. No matter if you are able to grasp what the essence is, like what's the point of this? No matter what happens, you'll be able to steer yourself back into, I don't know, in the right direction. Think of it like essence is your compass or your North Star. No matter what happens, you'll be able to, yeah, you'll be able to stay on track. For example, I'll give an example. For a lot of people, what we commonly do is to arrange you into bodies. What we call it is the birthday lineup, meaning so everyone arrange yourself in a circle from starting from January to December. No, all of you will do it in chronological order. What's going to do is what's the essence for me that time? It wasn't the words, it wasn't the instructions. Although I did learn instruction giving that time, like that's a skill that you could give. You could learn as a facilitator. But for me, what was it? Dude, it was just to have fun. Have fun with it because that's where people get up from their seats and they move around. It's really like, hey guys, we have a time limit. Let's do this. Let's have fun, no? And how do you know that? Last thing I'll share. How do you know if you grasp the essence when you're able to do something new, but it's still aligned with what the core of that portion of the program is? For example, we went to Cebu, and you remember that we went to Cebu, and there were three. Anyway, it was with this was like with a big bank, one of the biggest banks in the Philippines, and we were doing it was so big that that group was so big we had to split them into three circles, so three groups. And what came up for me that time while I was in my own circle was to say, okay, I want to have fun. What I did a that group wave with people in a circle, like woo, like that, right? Like that's not part of the program, but it's like I enjoy it also in a way. There's also improvising it. Like when Bam saw that, it's like, oh, look at them, they're having fun in like circle number 1, right? Or circle 2 and 3, mas naman kayo. And then Martin, they were like, Martin did this dive thing, and then like Magulang Yana was in the third circle. She was doing this ballet thing. It was like, woo, it's not part of the. That's not normally what happens, but I say it's still in line. Why? It's like just have fun with it. Make sure, like people laughing, people are engaging, people are like people aren't bored. Like you just have fun with it.
Can I plug it for you? Because if you want to get the lesson of essence and you're feeling it already now, like I really would encourage you to connect with Royce after this, because this is partly to answer Gerald's post, his comment too. We're not gonna be here forever, man.
Yeah.
Like Coach Bam was 47 years old. His dad's 78. When I visited that Sunday in the hospital, he went before his dad.
Yeah.
I'm 35, turning 36 next month. Royce is in his 20s.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna go before you, Gerald, or whoever, but that's the legacy that we can leave behind. So you already could feel a bit of essence just by Royce sharing.
Yeah. Last thing I'll share also. Oh no, what I'm thinking of is too deep already.
I can share first, for Gerald.
Oh yeah, you haven't answered pa pala. I'll answer na lang.
Go.
Dude, I'll just say essence, the lesson, the program, whatever. It's not about promoting it. That's really what makes us human. That's really what makes us human, our essence.
I'm curious. I want to attend the essence after this live.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
2 hours session.
We again, this is well, what we call this. It could be a rabbit hole, pero in this age, we have AI being able to copy in almost anything, and people are afraid. I don't know, like you can lose your job because robots will take over and whatever. Essence is the one thing that cannot be duplicated, and I say this even with other people. You can copy the content. You can copy. Chris, my God.
Wait, don't fall into the temptation.
I won't. Back to the question first, you answer, and then we have a second question also with Carla. Hi, Carla. I hope you're here. But yeah, we're acknowledging.
She's there.
Yeah, she's there. Yeah. Parang, yeah. If you don't get the essence, even if you're a fellow human, you're not gonna be able to effectively run that, whatever that is, that program, that portion. Yeah, I'm just saying that's what makes you effective.
I'll give you a hint that Essence works because I'm like when I took the personality test, right? The introvert thinker INTJ, so I'm kind of like a scientist or robot, and Essence is still working on me. So yeah, I can answer Gerald's thing
Yeah, yeah, sure.
because he's asking about Coach Bam's last words or lessons that hit me. So mine, I can just remember top of mind. Coach Bam said to me, I visited him Sunday, that was February 26th, before he passed away on the 28th, so 2 days after. He said, like, if it's my time, Lord, I'm ready. But if it's not yet my time to go, let me help more people. So that line hit me and my answer for that, which I witnessed, was second day of recovery from the ER to the regular room, stood up from his bed, and he was going. I was sitting down, I was watching him stand up. He was like, "Good morning, everyone. My name is Bam. I'm a heart attack survivor. This is my story." He was practicing the intro of a seminar right after his three stents, like his heart was he was in recovery. So those were some last words that I witnessed. And then another last thing was like super random. Like he watched this Netflix Korean show called Physical 100.
Physical 100. Plug, I love it, guys. Watch Physical 100. It's so wholesome. Anyway.
Yeah, so maybe not last words, but the lesson I got there was he had levity or lightness, because Physical 100 is the type of show you don't even need to think, and I'm a thinker, like deep thinker. So I was like, why are you watching this? But it was like the time you spent just being present there, sleeping on the hospital sofa, next to Coach Bam. Yeah. So those were like last moments or lessons with him. Here, to answer the question of Gerald, to end it. Last lesson I got was Coach Bam also taught me how to die, meaning like how to exit with grace. Because most people, when where we are in that moment of death, we're in fear. We're like, I don't want to die, ganon. Or if people attend their funeral, parang umiyak ka, feel sad in my funeral. Fuck that. Parang what I learned from Coach Bam is you can still go to his funeral and like, hey, it's okay, man. Parang I appreciate you. You could smile in my funeral. Those are the lessons I learned from him and the last moments I had with him. So I hope it answered.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Gerald, for that.
Yeah, thank you, Gerald.
I wanna like the next one we had is Carla's question. That's like I'll just exit with grace of Coach Bam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shared in my eulogy of Coach Bam, he never stopped fighting for life. And that's again, asking next time what's the meaning of life, right? That's what he was doing up until the end. So yeah. Here, by Carla's question, are you guys going to continue Lifekite and Unbounded? So thank you for the direct question. It's really good.
Super direct question, man.
Yeah, so straight answer for me, we don't know yet. Why? Number one, it hasn't even been 2 weeks since Coach Bam's passing. We are making plans in the works, I'll tell you that. What I just did, for example, who's this? One of the ones who was hit most was Karen. You can see that, right? Mm-hmm. And I was there for 2 whole days in the wake. It was tiring. Karen was there for a whole 3 days.
Yeah, all the way to the
up
end.
until the cremation for Bam and everything.
I was there. I saw the end.
Yeah. So first and foremost, just to give you a timeline. Again, we can't give you an answer yet, but we'll give you a timeline. What they said was just give Karen a month, because Karen is one of the core Lifekite on the team, aside from us, no. But also we want to respect, because it's really at the end of it, like we learn from Bam. We're learning to train from Bam, but honestly, I'll give it to you straight. We've never run the program before. Like
a full program.
As the lead.
Yeah.
Right. Even if I'm like, I say, I don't know, 70 to 80% where we could run it, but the remaining we still need a little bit of practice. But That's what I'll give you. I'll give you a timeline. Give a month for people to heal. It doesn't like I guess I understand it. Like, hey, what's gonna happen next, right? But I guess for me, it's also like, and I don't mean that this is your intention, man, Carla. But a common temptation would be to jump to the results, agad, diba? Like,
Mhm.
if it's premature, people are gonna get hurt. Like
Yeah.
if people haven't healed yet. So yeah, that's gonna give you a timeline. Here's the last thing I'll share. I was chatting with Karen also. I'm glad she's in a better space. I saw uh, she supported one of the basketball teams, Reframe, if you guys know. The finals is gonna come soon. This is their first time in their finals in 14 years. They've never been in the finals. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
The Letran Squires.
Yeah, Letran Squires basketball team.
NCAA.
Yeah, and so I'm happy that she's doing well. I got to contact with her. I told Karen, no, I respect it. And like I'm open to whatever you guys will, whatever she'll decide, along with I think whoever the other people who are supporting us. However, sabi ko sa kanya, no, regardless of what happens, the work will continue. That's what I'm telling you now, Carla, and to anyone who's listening to this now. The work will continue. And you guys have seen, I'm doing live. We're doing this now. We're doing live.
Yeah.
We're sharing the best lessons. Like, guys, we're here. And in the meantime, life is short. This is something I want to keep doing because this is something that really resonates with me. Um, the work will continue. In other words, for me, example lang if example Unbounded doesn't continue, worst case, no, I don't really see that happening for now. But in case, example, like Unbounded doesn't continue for whatever reason, for me, I'm just glad I created Essence.
Yeah, that is also a program
that's
that
also
you
another
created.
program. And I'll tell you, I can really tell you the spirit of Lifekite is with Essence. Um, what do you call it? The Lifekite way, I really feel like we got the most essential lessons from Coach Bam, which it's Essence. That's why I called it Essence. It's really to honor him. It's really to honor Coach Bam. And what else? It's up front. It's right there.
Yeah.
And I know, like when I was there, two two people shared during my run of Essence.
Yeah.
Both of them also opened up and like were really emotional, even in just the first hour. So I'm like, I'm just really grateful that I'm able to continue the work. I was able to at least get to that level of competence na I can handle it when people are opening up, so that I don't further traumatize them. Like I said a while ago, we don't, yeah, like if people are opening up and are vulnerable, that you have to handle it responsibly. Yeah. So,
Don't worry, dude. If I was in the room, I'd smack your face if you're traumatizing.
what are you doing, man?
It's a joke, but
Yeah.
that's part of our body system.
Yeah.
We always like check each other.
Yeah. So that's my answer. Dude, you have anything to
My
add?
answer is way shorter. So Royce was again from this live. If you watch the replay or you were there earlier, Royce was ahead of me in the Facilitator Training Program. He's ahead of me in terms of training or capability of being able to run an Unbounded or the Lifekite lesson.
Yeah.
So I could run maybe 30%, like 2 modules, like that, birthday lineup, rules, intro, like to a degree like that, my own version. So Royce is ahead. So my answer shorter is, will I continue Lifekite? And when Royce said the Lifekite way, my answer is yes. That's why we're doing this live.
Yeah.
Now, can I run Unbounded realistically? Like, no, straight up, right?
Yeah, and I want to support this guy, Like,
Mhm.
that's why I told him on one of the lives, like, dude, let's keep going, let's keep going.
So that's what we're doing now.
Yeah, and for me, I'm just telling you guys, I'm not attached to what form it's gonna take. I told you, if Lifetime and Unbounded ends, worst case, that could be one of the bad endings. I mean, like, yeah, we'll find another way, man. We'll find another way. I found another way. I already have Essence. Like, yeah, I want to run it again. But in I'm remembering one of my friends, Lisa. She has a tattoo that says, "In God's perfect timing, time it first." That's one of the lessons I'm learning. As much as I am excited to run it again, I wanna run it here in Manila. but maybe people need time to heal. No?
Yeah.
And I'm not using that as an excuse. I really want to check on people and say, hey, is this really going to help you? Because maybe, for example, hey, Royce is in front and this is reminding me of Coach Bam. It's traumatizing me because it's reminding me of how he's gone. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Did I?
Why are you going dark side, man?
Yeah,
So
okay.
this is where
Again,
wait, this is where Chris's comment comes in. So let me check you.
Yeah. Okay, my point is, if I run the program and it's gonna hurt you, don't come. Let's not do it, man.
Royce isn't gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that if it doesn't help you.
His shadow is this rabbit hole coming out. So
yeah,
I know Royce wouldn't do that in my heart. So to answer Carla's question lang, this live is continuing Lifekite.
Yeah.
We're sharing Coach Bam's best lessons. I guess Royce is already kind of teasing in the essence, which is the core of what the Lifekite way is. We're trying to be living examples of it, which is what we're doing here. The way we answer the comments, the way we handle this. So yeah, I mean that's what we're doing. Yeah. If you're, let us know if our signal is bad or if you guys so far it's
this will be upon replay naman. So
yeah, feel free to watch the replay.
Yeah, Mommy A, call me. Like I want to hear from you also. Like let's catch up in after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love you, Mommy
A. Love you too, Mommy A. So the Lifekite Iloilo family.
Yeah.
So just answer or close that of Carla. We are continuing the Lifekite way. That's what we're doing.
Let's just put it this way. We'll continue the Lifekite way. I'll add also maybe to support this guy. This guy next week. Next weekend, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna be a facilitator in a different retreat, and he has the Lifekite way. So in other words, it might not be exactly unbounded, but it's gonna continue. I'm so proud of this guy. He became, he volunteered last month for that retreat, and he got to show like, hey, I'm able to help. And he was just there to serve, and now he's one of the official facilitators for that retreat. So yeah.
Correct. Just to put like a close, like parang close the open loop for this.
Yeah.
Even before doing the live, the things we do, like the connected hug or all of that, the processing, it's not easy, by the way. It's not easy doing that. It's not easy doing this live. It's not easy letting all these lessons come back to us, hit us, like that. This is from Unbounded, by the way. So, this is part of how Lifekite would continue. Just like how your legacy, your company, actually it's more of your values, like what you left behind in the world, which is what Coach Bam left with us or shared with us. We're just sharing it back with you guys. So, we love you. We're looking at the comments. Again, we are continuing to share the best lessons to the extent we can before this live ends. Feel free to watch the replay, comment.
Yeah.
If ever you ask any questions here, we will answer that. That's part of the way we're trained, or part of the essence too.
Okay. Hi Cham. Hey, by the way, hi Cham. Yeah, thanks for dropping by.
People all over.
Cham is one of the FACIs in training when we had the first round of the Lifekite FACI program. So yeah, she was one of the MCs that time on our finale. So
she also trained with us when we did our beingness, our level 2 program.
Yeah, our classmates.
And by the way, that beingness also wasn't easy. The whole COVID thing.
God, yeah.
We had to be unreasonable, so we met, face to face. Despite the whole controversies, and then we all supported each other that way. So we went through a lot too. I went through a lot. Cham was also like kind of my buddy or partner in beingness, because the homework. Anyway, she knows that.
Guys, make sure your homework is, or else I'm gonna die.
Correct. So we have people watching the live from all over. Cebu, there's from Iloilo. We're here based in Manila actually right now. So again, however you want to connect with us, with the community, this Lifekite way, just reach out. for me, it was a lifeline back for me in 2019. So
Yeah.
something I remember to this day.
Yeah. So yeah, before we move on naman, do not, Tati, do not share the
No,
whole
yes.
word. Yeah, don't worry. It's,
Don't worry.
yeah, confidentiality. Yeah.
Also, anyways, yeah, continue.
I want to check with you, man, kasi we both haven't had lunch. What's your space? How's your hunger level? Ako, ikaw muna.
Yeah, I'm good.
Still
I
good.
think we can still push the envelope a bit, meaning share as much as we can.
Yeah.
I think that's how we share. Like we just give everything we got.
Yeah.
There will naturally come a point, even as we do the training or sessions, when the other person says, "Hey, I'm okay," then it's okay. We don't need to force anything anymore. So this was in, sorry, this is for Mommy A's comment. This was in Manila.
Yeah.
Cham flew in from Cebu,
Yeah,
actually.
she's doing for beingness. So,
By the way, yeah.
Mandaluyong yata yun, yeah.
Yeah, and then we don't know everyone's backstory, but each person, when we attended that seminar, they really had to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
Just
That was
Royce has his own story when he attended being involving his family. So
oh yeah.
so anyway, people had to sacrifice a lot just to attend that level 2 seminar
Yeah, and,
1 year ago.
and to add to that naman, no, yeah, like what we said also, this is just one of the key lessons also. No, what does being a leader mean? No, a leader is someone who takes the biggest risk. Why? No, that's also the place for the greatest opportunity. So yeah, that's what exactly. No, just even showing up in beingness that time. Why it was alert level 3.
Sorry.
I'll finish
Thank you,
sharing
Maverick.
tapos
Yeah.
react natin dyan eh. Yeah, because yeah, that time sa beingness, that was the last week that COVID alert level 3 was enforced.
Yeah.
So
it was a big deal.
yeah, so yeah, maybe the label is there, alert level 3, don't, but we still took the risk. But after beingness, it went down because things were already lightening up by that time. Eh. So
Yeah.
and and I would say what's the biggest reward? Hey guys, that was the last time Bam was able to run beingness. My gosh.
Actually, yeah, that was the very last run of being.
Yeah, that was the very last run of beingness, and it's like, if
So worth it,
if you
yeah.
let reason get the better of you, you lose the opportunity. And I'm not saying be reckless, diba? Like be responsible pa rin. But for us also, I was like, okay, I have to wear a mask. I have to be careful, Yun pa rin, was that like the max capacity during the COVID, like we were within regulations? No. Social distancing, everything. No, be responsible pa rin, but don't be afraid to take the risk. Because again, now we're like, oh, ako rin, no regrets that we took it. No? As long as you don't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just for some fun. Why did Cham die? Was it because of like she was the leader and then?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so here's the thing. We also all died. A part of us
No,
there.
you might leak it, dude.
I won't leak details up, but Royce went through his own emotionally. Cham witnessed that
Yeah.
face to face. So
I might, and this is just for me. I would really say that the first time we really encountered essence was in beingness. So this is again to Carla. No, we don't know what, like. I have hope for the future. I have a lot of hope for the future. But I don't know what's in store. My biggest hope is also I want to recreate what I went through in beingness, whether that is beingness itself or it might be a different program, whatever. Pero for me, I really credit a lot. Thank God I was able to go to beingness because that was the first time I encountered essence.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, it's gonna be hard to it's hard to explain what essence is because it's a state of being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's something you grow into. It's something experience talaga. It's like saying, it's different from saying, hey, I went to Japan, for example, or any country. Here's the landmark. Here's the tourist. I have some pictures. It's still different from actually being there, diba? Like going there. That's why I say it's hard to explain what essence is. But that's kind of my goal. That's why I'm creating the program Essence. So,
Well, here's the magic trick of Royce. If ever you do feel something from the live or when you meet him or us face to face, that is the message of Essence. You don't even have to explain it, you'll feel it.
you'll feel it.
I can answer Tati's question by not answering her question, meaning because you posted it to trick, right? But my answer is it won't answer what you're asking here. It'll answer it in a better way. So a part of each of us died there.
Yeah.
In being a certain level 2 seminar, we had to sacrifice. Let's say me, OC freak. When we do a hug to another person, for me that's an act of love. You will have to kill your ego to do that.
Yeah.
You will have to kill the voice like, oh fuck, baka ma-COVID ako dito. Maybe this person might cough when we're about to hug. And then you're gonna go, oh shit. Right? So it's like that's how I would answer it. Like a lower self or a part of ourself will have to die for like a higher level to have birth, which I witnessed Royce actually do. So
hi, Mommy A, by the way.
we'll go back to Mommy A.
Very
so
good answer.
You're welcome.
Mavic also, miss you too, Mavic. I want to see you guys soon. I want to check. How are you guys? Let's chat again sometime. To answer Mommy A's question naman kanina, I said na him, Mommy, I'm willing to say this even on air. Like, because of what I've gone through last week, I'm healed. Like from my grief. I told this to Martin. That doesn't mean I don't cry anymore, but that means that the pain of losing Coach Bam is not gonna stop me anymore. It doesn't cripple me. That's what I mean by healed lang. So my biggest hope na I want to move forward. Anyone else who is also affected by Coach Bam's passing, I want to support them too. I've been there. It's painful. It was so painful that I really told you this, Mommy A. I told this to did I tell this to you, dude? The day that I learned, that was Tuesday, the day that I learned that Coach Bam passed away and I was crying, I could feel myself literally getting sicker and sicker. I had to do something or else I would collapse talaga. So,
man,
yeah, it was that intense. So
I think
been there. I've been there, man. I've been there.
My answer's different though. Parang really yin and yang. As a joke. As a joke that's true.
Yeah.
So my answer, if it's okay to share, it might contrast with Royce.
Yeah.
My feeling was I felt at peace. Because when I visited that Sunday, 9 a.m., I was planning to just stay for maybe 2 hours, like that. So lunchtime, because of Bryce, Coach Bam's son was going to visit him.
Yeah.
So when that didn't push through, I just decided, hey, I want to stay here more. And I ended up staying until 11:30 p.m. So I felt like I did as much as I could, given without overstepping.
So no regrets, man.
Yeah.
No regrets.
So that's how I am or how I feel. To answer your question, Mommy A. Again, like Carla's question about will Lifekite live on? That's why we're doing this live.
Yeah.
You're actually getting hints of essence already. If I sit in Royce or when I sit in Royce, because I'm curious to learn his.
No, you're a full-on participant. You gotta engage, man.
Yeah.
Don't just sit in and watch and like. If I were a fatty, I would do that.
All right, so he wants me to really be a participant.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I'm already curious for that. So I'm okay. I'm good. I felt like we didn't lose Coach Bam. I feel like he's still with us. I feel like right now maybe he's whispering or he's guiding us with all these.
Malay mo, he's in the middle, right? Hey, man.
Yeah. To Coach Bam. I'm trying to remember like what he would do because we would meet him BGC. We would have coffee. We would have meetups. We would have training. And here's one thing I can share, by the way. One thing I love about Coach Bam is it's like a mirror where I resonated with him. He was a very imperfect person.
He was.
There were times I didn't get along with him.
Yeah.
Now, and I say that because I'm like that. I am like that too. I'm a very imperfect person. So the parts where we did get along, like in the mission, the purpose, helping people, this is what we're sharing with you. right? So I want to share with you all of the good, also all of the bad,
Yeah.
meaning in me and
Yeah.
the reality of it. And
Because,
it's
yeah.
all love. All
Yeah.
love, but
Yeah.
yo,
I just wanted to say rin kasi that's the point of Lifekite. It's not here to make you feel good. Yes, it's to support you. But when there's real talk, don't be afraid. Like have courage to say what needs to be said responsibly. No, again I have to reiterate. I have to say that because other people are brutally honest. Guess what, guys? You can be honest without being brutal.
or there's this saying I learned from Alex Mandossian. He calls
Yeah,
it ruthless compassion.
yeah,
So there's a way to be very 100% direct, like no bullshit, no tap dancing around the truth.
Yeah.
But you also do it in a way that's loving.
yeah.
So that's
It's
the side that
possible. It's possible.
it
Yeah.
can be learned. So this sharing, this releasing responsibly, as you watch the live, maybe you attend sessions,
Mm.
it can be learned. So that's what we're trying to share with you here. If someone would say, and I was guilty of this, might say, oh, that's common sense, man, whatever you said, that was so obvious.
Mm.
Well, are you doing it in your life? I still argue with my parents, my family. So I have to keep relearning the lesson.
Yeah.
And with Royce, as practice, he would guide and say, hey, man, but also this. Remember this side too. Also this, right? So it's very helpful to have a person who you can actually go to, which is why we're doing this. So, okay, so yeah, moving forward, just
Yeah.
keep typing your comments. We're gonna wrap up the
Yeah, we'll wrap up
the live in a bit.
I think 2 hours is a good ano, pero yeah, I'm actually like my heart is like I don't know 80-90% full sharing with this. I'm just
Yeah, so we're not
Yeah.
attached, so we could end the live literally right now, unless one of you puts another question or comment. So it's cool. Or one other lesson or a few others might hit us. We would openly share that with all of
Yeah.
you watching the live and the replay.
I have one.
Yeah, go.
This wasn't necessarily brought up during the FASI program, but this is also my reflection. Why are we so open sharing all of this with you? Isn't even guys, like I don't know for a lot of you if you've gone through other programs, but normally, again, I'm not hating on anyone, okay? But it's a common practice that we lock content behind the paywall. Diba? You have to pay this to access my 5-step blueprint, whatever. Parang, yeah, we're ask us. We're willing to share with you why. Because dude, let's be real. You know, there's someone else who's gonna beat me in terms of content. You know who that is? Google. You want to learn everything? Google is there. I would go to Google. But here's the point. Here's the point, guys. If information was all we needed, everyone would already be rich. Everyone would already be skinny or have their whatever body weight they want. Everyone would already have their good relationships with each other. But why is it still happening? I say, well, because content is not all you need. You need something else. And that's what facilitation is here for.
Can I share the flow with what you just said? So why I love openly sharing. So I don't know if it's even beyond Royce or Coach Bam's level, and I can share why. I just learned this through my own life journey. I don't mind sharing with you, and it's not to spoil anything unnecessarily. Usually, when I would share something, it's just the core message, the essence of it. So if someone is so worried about concealing stuff, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because let's say Quantum Leap or Tony Robbins.
The only thing we don't share, by the way, are confidential stories by the participants and hopefully the details of the program, because that's in a way, if we spoil the program, like you're gonna get ahead, you might miss the lesson.
Yeah.
But the lesson itself we'll share with you. What could be the lesson be? Like, hey, I went to Unbounded. My lesson was I need to take care of myself. I need to reach out to my family. I need to forgive whoever, right? Because resentment is hurting me. That's the content. That's the lesson. But if we're gonna share you like like what did you have in Unbounded? Like sure, I'll share you my notes, but it's different because again, just because you read the notes doesn't mean you've experienced it. Doesn't mean the lesson has actually sunk into you.
Correct. So
yeah. Anyway,
As Tati commented, the stuff we share is usually something that you can't Google.
yeah.
It's
You
just
can't
like the
Google.
value.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, why I'm not ashamed of like sharing, let's say, my best lessons from Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, Unleash the Power Within, Quantum Leap. Again, many people won't agree with me on this. That's actually the best form of advertising.
Yeah.
It's free advertising. So
Yeah.
like, you're gonna pay millions, thousands, millions for marketing. I'm already giving it to you for free. So by the way, the one thing I agree with Royce is the confidentiality part. If the person says, please respect my privacy like that, that's like a code of honor, that's integrity. So I 100% agree with that. Now, if I'm okay, Royce is okay with sharing what we're sharing here, you could share that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. If it will help someone, then share it.
And ano lang because here's the fact also, everyone is on a different journey. And what the lesson that you might, for example, the lesson that Martin needs to hear might be a different lesson from what I need to hear. Diba? So if you ask Martin, what's your best lesson? Yeah, but that's Martin. Like, what about you? Because guess what? Martin had to go through his own process to get that. And I'll tell you, man, anyone who thinks that they can just copy and paste, shortcuts don't work. Really, shortcuts don't work. Hilaw ka, in other words, if you do that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Royce gave a hint, by the way. When we share lessons, the only way it will become real is like when you or I
Yeah,
would,
you live it. You
would
have to
integrate it. Yeah. So what does that mean? We feel it on a core level, or we actually went through a real experience that was like exactly the same as it. Like, wow, that is so freakishly similar to what I went through. Like, oh, parang your dad got the belt too, and he hit you like that. So parang it's like no one else could have experienced this. Huh? You too? You too? So that's how the
You're not
lesson
alone,
becomes real. Yeah.
You're not alone if you think that no one else is going through it. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just flowing actually just validating or verifying what Royce shared. So all these lessons we're openly sharing. It becomes useful, and I don't want to come from that space like parang hiding anything like that.
Yeah.
For me, this is me. I don't know about you. If I give 99%, you're gonna feel it, and I'm not okay with that.
Oh,
I gotta give 100, man.
I'll share one of the lessons that hit me. This was from Alex Mendocian also.
Mhm.
They said, what does 90%, what example, you're here, can I see? Yeah, here on the screen, right? What does 0% look like? This is 0%. What does 99% look like? It looks like this. What does 100% look like? It looks like this. So the gap between 99 and 100 is, yeah. I hope tama yung sa camera, but yeah.
Huge. And here's another thing. People who are thinking of it logically, if you're like, no, I don't understand. On a heart level, you'll feel it.
Yeah,
you'll feel it. So
you don't need to be a psychology graduate for you to understand what Lifekite is trying to teach you.
Yeah. And Royce will communicate it in different words.
Yeah.
If you can't feel it right now, turn off the fucking live, guys. If you think this is not like, if this is like, then don't watch it.
So that's true. That's a good point, dude. Not everyone, and I'll say to you guys straight, not everyone resonated with Coach Bam, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I had before, like my brother, it's okay. I love him anyway. Like I'm telling you, I'm the only one in my family who's involved with Lifekite, and that's okay. Why? Because I am the one bringing that energy back into my family. And what is that energy? It's love, guys. It's love.
Can I share just to add super quick? So let's say Royce's brothers, his family, let's say they may not have resonated with Coach Bam.
And that's okay.
And it's okay. Royce gets the lesson, he integrates it, and suddenly maybe Russell or one of your brothers might suddenly have a hint, a spark, like a peak, like, hey, they're getting the lesson because of you.
Yeah. Not
necessarily Coach Bam. So guys, you don't have to talk the way I do. You don't have to do things the way I do. Maybe you get the lesson, and then suddenly your sister, your parents, your kids, they get it because of you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be me. Not everyone's gonna like me. Not everyone's gonna like Royce. But if you don't like Royce, damn, you got a big problem. Huh? He's way more likable than I am. Yeah,
My God.
because what Mavic said, we all have different takes.
Yeah, we have different
We have
takes.
different.
Yeah.
So
The value of your notes are for you. Yeah, pero dude, like again, this guy, I love how he rocks his beard.
yeah,
It's not
I'll
a goatee,
shave tomorrow, but
it's a
yeah, the
stubble.
stubble. So we have different looks. Sometimes your essence or your core is you're clean shaven. Sometimes you're like the rock star, whatever, is the artist. The main thing is going back to essence.
Yeah, you go back to essence.
How are we helping people?
Yeah.
Like, what's your mission, your purpose in life?
Mm.
Like, that's what we're getting from Coach Bam. And on his very last days, he still said that let me help more people.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like sharing this might be very misunderstood, but we didn't expect it would happen. When he said that, his last words, let me help more people. What is freaky, whether you believe in God, the universe, whatever you believe in, when he said those last words, I believe they came true. Because when he said, let me help more people, whether he would live or pass on, he actually ended up reaching more people.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do right now. When Coach Bam passed away, moved forward, he's actually reaching more people.
Yeah, I would say to everyone here,
Mhm.
if things did not happen the way they happened, I would not have essence right now. I feel like again, I was hurt as much as everyone else. Maybe even more, maybe I don't know. I'm not here to compare.
Yeah.
Pero for me, if Bam did not pass away, I wouldn't have created essence. I wouldn't have created that. I wouldn't have extracted that lesson. Why? Well, for me, the Facilitator Training Program, maybe in another timeline it would happen, but it might have taken me longer to get essence. Like I'll tell you again, the growth is in the struggle, and for me, that because of that struggle, the pain of feeling the loss of Coach Bam, that's what led me to create essence. Like my buddy here calls it alchemy. You turn something bad into good, and for me, I channeled that grief, that pain, into creating essence as a program because that's what he was trying to teach us. Like I realized it. Like ayun na nga, that's how it turned out. Like after Bam passed on, and I was just looking back, like okay, let me create this program to honor him. And I realized, oh my God, this is what he was trying to say. But I don't know, searching inside myself, and reflecting that, and I'm like, what's the most essential, what's the most important lesson that Bam was trying to say? Then that's how it clicked for me.
Yeah.
So
I,
yun.
I have an answer, and if Royce is like alchemy from turning like darkness into light, something bad into good, right? Mine is love, actually.
Mm.
So in my depression or like my past days, and this is even when Coach Bam was still alive, there were days that it's hard to just get up.
Yeah.
So one thing why I say love, not necessarily the romantic kind only. My answer is love when Coach Bam passed on is like today. This is something I actually look forward to. If you're the type who doesn't look forward to going to work or the Zoom meeting, you're not alone. You're not alone. Now there are some meetings maybe you want to look forward to because you're volunteering, you want to be there, you want to help. So this one today, Saturday morning, I actually did look forward to this. So what Coach Bam left behind when I say love is Coach Bam had his own love. He had his own mission, his purpose with Lifekite. And again, there were days when he shared with us, right? He's like, sometimes I don't know if I should quit or if I feel a little tired. And then there's a moment like this that reminds and says, hey, this is why I do it. Whenever someone says thank you, whenever someone says this helped me in my life, right? So you will have your own version, but when I say love, it's like that's what he left behind. That's something that I remembered today at least, right? So again, some people might say love kasi my girlfriend ka dati, my boyfriend ka dati. Like maybe that's not that shallow. After all, there's an essence deeper to it. Kasi how would you treat? Let's say then end up that person died of leukemia, whatever, or things didn't turn out the way. can you still be that person for someone else, right? Romantic or not, right? Love on a deeper level. So that's one thing I got from Coach Bam, actually.
So yeah, like I just want to acknowledge Tati, yeah, one of your sisters. Yeah, bless your sister Tati. Another coach that was influenced by Coach Bam. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just glad. Yeah, even after, just because Bam's not here anymore doesn't mean that the effects of his work disappears. We're still here, no, and we want to continue, no matter what form that takes, no matter what. So, good.
Yeah. Like one of the last things that's hitting me when with Coach Bam, passing on just last Feb 28th, right? Less than 2 weeks ago is it for me, I don't know if I'm a weird person or something like that. Like I just went to a wake yesterday, but
Yeah.
this was a friend's Lola who is 99 years old. In those moments, I find them more peaceful. One of my other mentors said this, like the reason why people don't do anything, like they'll say, I'll do it tomorrow, or they can't appreciate life. His his thought experiment was it's because people think they're gonna live forever.
Yeah.
So they don't consciously think that, they don't say that. But then when you look at the way they act, the way they are, right, they can't appreciate, like, let's say we're going to eat lunch.
Yeah.
They can't even appreciate the food or like what we're going to do today.
Mhm.
Then they go, like, what if we were going to die tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah.
Then suddenly you're like, okay, man, I'm going to like maximize everything that's
Mhm.
alive, like that, all of this. So that's one thing. It was a good reminder for me to witness experiences like
Yeah.
that.
And there's a lot of people I don't know if this is like science fiction or whatever, and this is me sharing and others. Um, if you have that desire to live forever and you actually do stay, for example, you're immortal, you're missing the point, because it's death that actually gives value to life.
Mm,
Like, why are we here today? Why do we want to treasure today? Because one day, yeah, that's the truth. All of us have an expiry date. So yeah,
yeah.
YOLO na tayo, yeah.
If Mavic, yeah, if you want to say like YOLO, you only live once, like that. Well, the good side, the appreciation from that is we can say, Mavic, we love you.
Yeah.
Now,
Love you, Maverick.
if we lived in a world na puro hiya, tomorrow na lang, we'll say I love you tomorrow na lang.
Tomorrow, yeah.
We'll never say it. We'll never do the live. We're never gonna do it,
Yeah,
right?
you constantly put it off forever until you can't anymore.
And we're not saying YOLO, be reckless, like spend all your money, tapos live in poverty, bigla may utang pa, ganun. No, like in your essence, in the core, what do you really want to do in this life? How did you want to love? What did you want to give?
Yeah.
What did you want to learn or share? That's what we're doing in this life. So that's our version of YOLO.
Yeah.
It's what we're doing now. And at any point, we could be ending this live, wrapping up. Again, whatever questions you ask, we appreciate it here in the live because we could answer it at one. If ever you do reach out in the comments, watching the replay, feel free, reach out to Royce, reach out to me, Martin.
Yeah.
Attend his essence one day if you can. Hopefully, while we're still here, right?
Yeah.
That's what the legacy is. Each one's legacy is. And while I'm still here in my living days, I just want to be able to share 100% a part of myself with you, whatever it is, right? So that's the legacy.
God. I'm emotional a bit kasi I'm just remembering, if you guys know Hamilton, they do have a line called about on legacy. And I'm just to wrap this up, two things for me. First thing, what's legacy? As per Hamilton, it's planting seeds in a garden that you will never see.
Ooh.
Diba?
Yeah.
It's not silly. And I think for a lot of people, again, that's why people are always, there's always going to be doubt. It's like, why are you doing this? It's crazy. Somebody really told me what I was doing last year was crazy. Like, again, it's not right. Anything, and I sense if I were to someone else, they do have a point. But now I look back at it all and I say, no regrets. I'm glad that I spent the last year with Bam and this guy and Lifekite and Karen. So yeah,
Yeah, my final sharing, just connecting with what Roy said, is yeah, I didn't know that was possible. Now it's not guaranteed when we did the buddy system. It's not guaranteed. Like the buddy in your seminar or in life that you go through, they may not do it the same way.
yeah,
Your buddy could leave you.
yeah.
Then people will say, but isn't it realistic to at least understand or agree or expect diba, that your buddy would help you? Well, that's what I also learned from Coach Bam. Unrealistic expectations, even if you think they're realistic, there's still a chance a lot of times that it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
Your own family could abandon you. There are people like that in this
Yeah.
world. So same with the buddy. So what Royce just shared, like, thank you for showing me that, the impossible. Maybe
Yeah.
it's partly a miracle because we may never have experienced that in our life.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna make the impossible happen with you, Karen.
Yun. And again, that's for me, that's like an I love you na lang.
Yeah.
Some people might think it's cheesy, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I just take it like wow, like because we know what we went through. Now here's the thing, like how it legacy, how it could be useful for you, how it ended. Whatever we learned and we experienced, it's possible. You can make your own version of that.
Mhm.
You can make your own version. I didn't know actually how to hug before, the connected hug. You think that's so ridiculous? As a guy who went to an all boys school, a family that wasn't that physically or expressive like that, right? He could relate to.
Are you talking about me?
So
Yeah.
I could relate to that. People might say, why do I have to learn how to hug? When you learn how to do it like that connected way, whether it's with a girl, with a guy, it it's like, for example, you never experienced love in this life. You never had your first kiss, whatever that version is for you. Imagine living your life and you never experienced that. So you can actually see something. You can go, hey, I like that. I want that in my life. You can learn it, and then you can have your own version. Why? Because you will also pass that down to your family, your children in the future, maybe your friends who just had never had that awareness, right? And those moments for me, I love them. If I didn't know how to care for someone, I met someone who showed me, I'm like, hey, I want to do that until the day I die. So look for those moments.
Yeah. And so last thing I just want to say, I appreciate everyone who watched. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah,
I appreciate
you too.
Lifekite. And of course, I'm so grateful to Coach Bam. Thank you, Bam. Now, if you're listening,
I know he is.
if you
I know
manage
he's
to
listening.
infiltrate the cyberspace and you're listening from,
Yeah.
heaven Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah.
Just want to say thank you, man. Thank you, Bam. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we
No,
love you. We love you,
love you,
Coach
Bam.
Bam. This is
Yeah.
from Royce. This is from Martin.
Yeah,
So
no regrets and thank you for everything. Wait lang.
thank you. Thank you for being with us, being in this moment.
Yeah.
So we also thank you, everyone watching the live, watching the replay for this. So reach out. You can reach out to Royce. You can reach out to me, to Martin. Reach out to the people watching this live through the replay, the community who gets it. Get the help that you need, right? Because life is short. That's what we just saw in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. So take care, guys. Yeah, I'm good. My like this guy always says, my heart is full.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone. 2 hours just passed by talaga really fast. I'm so surprised. And yeah, let's have lunch.
Yeah. So the way I would end usually is thank you. We love you.
We love you.
And we will see you next time.
Bye. Love you, Mavic. Bye.